Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we are going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we're going to talk about a powerful narrative tool that you can bring into your Dungeons and Dragons game today. That I think is a really powerful narrative tool that will definitely make your game better for multiple reasons. So let me tell you what the idea is, and then let me tell you where it came from, and I'll tell you why I think you should use it. So here's the idea. I'll tell you where it comes from first. So I've been very fortunate. I purchased Index Card RPG Hard Suit, which is Dungeons and Dragons Simple, right? Very fast running, really flexible, incredibly powerful Dungeons and Dragons simple engine, right? So Index Card RPG just kind of takes Dungeons and Dragons, throws it into a pot of boiling water and burns off all the and boils off all the complexity. That's really what it's the best way to think about Index Card RPG. So it's D&D simple, and basically, so it is D&D simple, and Hard Suit is what if the Voltron team landed in Faerun? That's the concept, right? But Hankard Farinale, the primary creative engine of Index Card RPG, he is absolutely brilliant. And I literally own every single Index Card RPG product that's ever been created. I've bought everything, right? I have also reached that point with Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition now. I buy every hardback rule book. And I think I'm buying every single thing talked about in D&D Direct. I think I've already pre-ordered the vast majority of it. Save video games. I do not buy video games generally if I can avoid it, even if they're Dungeons and Dragons specific. So Index Card RPG Hard Suit has this brilliant dungeon master advice right in the heart of it, right? Which is and it is the following narrative tool. It's called a voyage, right? So Hankard Farinale, he's always trying to get Dungeons and Dragons squeezed down to a very manageable amount, right? Something that can be run quickly, something that is comfortable for dungeon masters who might not be like super literate, super intelligent, like not, sometimes, or I don't even know if it's not for super intelligent or super literate people. I think it's it's for people who desire a simpler Dungeons and Dragons. It really, because it has every aspect of it. Okay, so here's his idea. It's a voyage, right? And what he says is each session should be a voyage, okay? And each session should contain a voyage. The voyage is a journey, a surprise, and a challenge. And I thought, that's brilliant. That is a brilliant idea, right? So here's the thing. So you're going to take your player characters on a voyage in Dungeons & Dragons, right? And that means they're going to journey somewhere. This is brilliant, right? Like every great quest novel that you read, and certainly Lord of the Rings, has the journey, right? It has, hey, we're going to travel over this period of time and this period of space, right? And what's going to happen during that? Well, we're going to look at the world. We're going to see the beautiful things that are in this world, right? We're going to see the beauty of nature. We're going to see the open sky. Maybe we're going to encounter a storm, right? And so the journey is moving along. Also, moving along through the world you're in. Also, to be very clear, in this, on this journey, you're going to learn about your fellow player characters, and you're going to meet some non-player characters, right? It's part of the journey. Next is a surprise, and surprises. I love the word catalyst, right? The surprise can be anything, right? It can be more journey, right? Or it could be, we're going to talk about challenge in a minute. It could be challenge. So you may end up having journey challenge, or you may end up having journey challenge, right? Or you may end up having journey mystery challenge, right? Or journey rescue challenge, right? Or you might have journey spectacle challenge, something you witness, right? You might encounter a unicorn, right? It's not, you just see it, right? Like, and that could be the surprise. And the surprise, and I will say also, the surprise is really important. It's like really critical. Like, this is where you could spend a lot of time, coming up with something unique and new and fresh, right? And it also tells you as the dungeon master, hey, who's the surprise for? Is it for your player characters, or is this week it for you? Like, are you going to surprise yourself by doing something you don't normally do? Right? That's a great idea to do that, right? And it's just really, I think it's really something unique and special, and I think the surprise is really an idea. And last is challenge, right? And I really don't even really need to tell you what a challenge. They come across a green young dragon. They come across, six skeletons. They come across, 3 bandits, right? The challenge is very traditional, right? Now, the other issue is you can absolutely, you can mix these up, right? Although there is a power, there really is a very central power in that sequence, that journey surprise challenge, right? And you're probably not going to get a lot of complaints if you just run it straight, and you can even do it, you can run it straight because you have the surprise, you can run it straight, like 70-80% of the time, right? So I think it's really fascinating, just exactly how this rolls out. I think this is a brilliant idea. I also think this is really important because there is a danger, especially in current. Actually, I think this danger has been in every edition of Dungeons and Dragons, and it's in the current edition of Dungeons and Dragons, and that is you get dungeon masters who just plop down in the challenge space, right, and are very comfortable with half, 75%, even 90% of the game being combat, right? And this is a great way to remember the pillars of Dungeons and Dragons, right? Combat, interaction, exploration, and it's just a nice narrative tool to help you get past some old habits and to give more balance and make sure that your combat is really never more than 33% of your play session, because it was never meant to be more than 33% of your play session. The pillars were put into the game in 1974. They're alive and clarified today in 2022, and it's important to understand that it's supposed to be a balance. It's not supposed to be 70-80% challenge or combat. And so I just think this was a beautiful narrative tool that is in Index Card RPG Hardsuit. It's $12.50 on DriveThruRPG. It is brilliant and fantastic, and every dungeon master can run it. It is a standalone product, and it doesn't come with the rules that are needed. But Index Card RPG puts out a free quick start, which can be paired with Hardsuit, and you don't need it. So you can run Hardsuit for $12.50. It is brilliant. I cannot recommend it highly enough. Check it out, and I highly recommend you use Voyages this week, or you use a Voyage this week. Journey, surprise, challenge, brilliant idea. Hanker Farinale just continues to knock it out of the park with every single Index Card RPG product. Well, that's my opinion. Have you tried Index Card RPG Hardsuit? What do you think? What do you think of this concept of Voyage, right? Journey, surprise, challenge. It seems like a really just like lock turnkey, fit for any Dungeons & Dragons edition. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.